Good morning, 8 o'clock straight up. I'm Dave Globin. You're not Boogie with the Bull. Morning caffeine is back. Been doing so many things on Facebook and other social media networks lately. I just haven't jumped out of bed and said, Good morning, America. It's Boogie with the Bull time. It is right now Boogie with the Bull time. We are live on Facebook this morning. We are on the Dave Globin profile with a live chat. We are live on the Boogie with the Bull page with a live chat. We are live on Facebook in the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group. Uh, what you need to do if you haven't done it so far is go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. StreamYard.com/Facebook. That makes sure that your live chat comments come up on the screen and you get to see me read and acknowledge your comment. It's really cool. Also, Facebook says that on the Dave Globin profile, if you're watching, you're able to buy stars. Stars are those stupid gold things that come up on the screen and tell you that if you buy stars, I will see your comments and I will read your comments and all of that stuff, which I do anyway. So if you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, scroll down the page about halfway, it says give Facebook permission or StreamYard permission to use your profile picture and your name in the live chat. I'll see it and I should be reading it. If you see on the bottom of the screen uh, in the live chat that you're watching, buy stars, and I'll be able to read your comment. You got to decide whether or not you want to do it. We've been doing this for about 3 years. We try only to monetize the broadcasts when we absolutely have to, and trying to monetize Facebook Watch is something that would be nice to do. 50,000 of you have to watch about 3.6 hours of Boogie with the Bull, where if you're lucky, that's rounded up to 4 hours. It's two broadcasts worth of Boogie with the Bull. And I don't care if you watch it live and comment or you watch it podcast and comment. Either way, if you want to help us, please do. The topic of the day is whether or not when President Trump leaves Florida today on his 757 Trump Force One, lands in New York, and goes over at some point for a long-awaited, hopefully cuffed and perp walk tour, getting into the vehicles with his Secret Service and his Trump security team going with him, because actually, I guess the Secret Service team has to go with him. So this will be very interesting to see if at all possible, and cameras are there and broadcasting it live to anyone who wants to watch it. We will carry it live on Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk broadcast. So pay attention. Tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern, Jen Woodruff and a whole slew of others will be joining me to discuss the whole thing, whether or not people think there will be a cuffed perp walk for the cameras, and whether or not what you think the next step is. I personally think, and I'm probably 100% wrong, but I hope the next step is that they'll process him, fingerprints, mugshots, and all of that. Everybody's going to want to get that. The Democrats are going to spend all day and maybe all night uh, plugging that around the world. And then they're going to have a laugh when it gets into a court judge for the arraignment and Alvin Bragg gets to read off one by one the 30, 34 charges that he hopes, at least one of the serious ones, leads to a judge saying, okay, you can try that one. But the reality is going to be our judge is going to say, well, you know what? In the history of the United States of America, we have never arrested and tried a former president of the United States. And if we do it with Donald Trump, you have to be concerned that probably already the paperwork is at the House of Representatives, in the Republican majority speaker's office, ready to, at the least, indict Hunter Biden probably Wednesday morning and bring him in and probably hold him, not even give him a chance to leave the arraignment, but probably hold him somewhere until his arraignment comes up, and probably not even release him until after he is prosecuted and some penalty is charged, and then based on whatever happens with Mr. Hunter, uh, possibly go after Joe Biden himself. So I've been telling people that I think if there is a cuffed perp walk at the least, uh, it means that President Donald Trump will be elected the 46th president of the United States the day that happens. I just think even Democrats have had enough of all these shenanigans to keep President Trump out. We're not getting any better under President Biden, and that's Bydon. We're not getting any better under President Biden. We're getting worse. Things that should never happen here in the United States are likely to happen. Central bank digital currency, you'll carry a debit card or whatever you want to call it. You'll carry that. Your money will be sitting on that. Rumors are that the government can do anything they want with it anytime they want. Now, I'm looking at it kind of interesting that if you do things that the government wants you to do, then you might get rewarded with something, as well as your paycheck is going to go on there. But by the same token, if you violate the rules of Adolf Biden, again, Bydon, if you violate his rules or his policies, you could wake up one day and not have any money in your bank account. I personally don't think that the House Republicans, who have a majority, will allow that to happen, but who knows? Because the Senate Democrats, who have the majority over there, along with the Rhinocrats, will probably do their best to try to make sure something happens over there. It won't be a straight a straight Senate majority vote, 51 Democrats with 50 or less Republicans trying to save it. And I don't know what will happen there. I imagine that if the House passes something that says, no, this is not going to happen, and sends it to the Senate, and the Senate passes something that says, no, this is going to happen, well, then it's stalled in Congress forever. But it really is time to just say once and for all that the swamps have to be drained everywhere, that there is a swamp. Mac McGregor, a great guy, is again running for lieutenant governor of the great state of Georgia. And we will keep in touch with him throughout and try to have him on several times. I do believe that Jonathan Garcia is going to run for governor again, but I cannot guarantee that. So we'll try to have Jonathan on as we can, and lieutenant governor and governor Republican candidates from all 50 states. You are more than welcome to come on to a Boogie with the Bull morning caffeine broadcast, or join us in the afternoon at 5 for a Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk broadcast. Join us Saturday at 10 a.m. if that works. And as I tell people every day, if we don't do a time that is good for you, then we'll try to find a time that is good for you. Greg Medlin says that Trump will be president in 2024. Greg, I actually think that if there is a cuffed perp walk, that Republicans will just come out of everywhere. And as far as I'm concerned, I've been saying that President Trump will be elected on that day. On that day. That if it's today, if it's tomorrow, if it is today and tomorrow, he's cuffed and escorted to the motorcade to take him wherever he's going to be processed and wherever the arraignment is going to be. And he's cuffed and processed on his way back to wherever he's going. I don't know if they will require him to stay in New York at Trump Tower until this is resolved, or if they will be okay with him returning to Florida, because Governor DeSantis here has been very vocal in saying that he would not allow Trump to be extradited to New York. And that whole thing's a mess anyway, because all you hear is that Trump hates DeSantis, DeSantis hates Trump, and New York doesn't want him staying at Trump Tower any more than they have to back when he was president, because the Secret Service and all the law enforcement in New York split the expense of covering his protection back when he was president. I don't know what happens now. He's got around the clock Secret Service protection. And there were rumors back a few years ago that President Trump was working to move the Secret Service headquarters into Trump Tower as well. So who knows? But I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. Greg says, I pray no one will harm him in New York. I pray no one will harm him anywhere, but I agree with you, Greg. People in the live chat on the Dave Globin profile, make sure at some point you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. StreamYard.com/Facebook. Let me see if I can find it. If I have a banner here somewhere. Yep. Go to StreamYard.com. Yeah, on Facebook live chats, use StreamYard.com/Facebook and give StreamYard permission to use your Facebook picture and name in the live chats. Watch in the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group. You can watch on the Boogie with the Bull page. You can watch on my profile. But according to StreamYard, it is supposed to be working that if you go and use StreamYard.com/Facebook, scroll halfway down the page, it says give permission. If you agree and you give it permission, then you are supposed to be coming up on the live producer screen. So if it's not working, we'll have to contact them again and see what we can do. But we'll continue monitoring the live chat on the Dave Globin profile, as well as monitoring the live chat on the Boogie with the Bull page on Facebook and the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group on YouTube. If you're watching the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, there's a live chat there. And if you follow me over on Twitter at Boogie WT the Boogie with the Bull Twitter profile at WT Bull, excuse me, at Boogie WT Bull, follow me there. You can watch Boogie with the Bull broadcasts from today back through the first time we ever sent one there. And usually we average about, 5 to 7 people watching, and hopefully the 5 to 7 people watching over there are retweeting the broadcasts. And good morning, Randall Griesenbeck. Randy Griesenbeck, as you know, is working on some awesome, all I can say is awesome benefits. The mayor of Cincinnati, along with their House rep in D.C. and their senator are working together. And all I can tell you, people, is this thing is going to be huge when you have big forces getting together and doing things to help Americans that are down on their luck for no cause of their own, really. Come together. The world stands as one against government overreach. It's an awesome group. The world stands as one against government overreach. and it's overreach anywhere. Our government has overreached to make sure that train travel is not safe. I've been telling you for days now on Boogie with the Bull broadcast that going back to when we lived in Connecticut and Senator Richard Blumenthal was talking about the serious lack of safety on train tracks throughout the United States. Don't know what happened. Don't know if anybody ever did anything. And I'm not angry at just Democrats for not doing anything. I'm angry for Republicans because where we live in Florida, here, beautiful Fleming Island, you can hear trains go by constantly between 10 p.m. and midnight. And I'm usually asleep by midnight, so I don't hear them. And then again, early in the morning. And I hear from people who use 220 to get to work that if you're on 220 aiming for the McDonald's on College Road to grab your morning coffee and something to chow on your way to work or taking the kids to school in the morning, that that train can make you late for work, your kids late for school, and by the time you would be going back to get your kids are still in the car and it's time to go home. So scares me because I have no idea what gets pulled through Middleburg early in the morning. And if you have to deal with it where you live, it scares me just as much. Unqualified engineers carrying more than the amount of cars carrying things that could be a big major catastrophe. Engineers need to be fully trained and only doing the number of cars and runs that they are qualified to do. And I can talk about that firsthand because a lot of people say that, I don't know anything when I start rambling and talking about something. But I actually had the privilege going back to the early 90s. A good friend of mine, Dick Capatch, was an Amtrak engineer, and he was a training engineer. And back in those days, the early 90s, you could be on a train with a training engineer, and you could learn how to operate an Amtrak train, basically like an audition. And that training engineer could train you. And if they thought you were ready to rock and roll, you could go into the class and become an Amtrak engineer. So I went through and I learned pretty much what you needed to do to operate a train. In those days, it was take orders from the head conductor because the head conductor actually decided what was going on in those days and not the engineer. And it probably still should be the head conductor because it's their job to try to keep the train as on time as possible. It's just the engineer's job, his job or her job, to make sure that the train is being operated safely. And it is something that if you had the privilege to audition, absolutely beautiful. Anyway, Randy Griesenbeck says that he has to pass a security background check before working with the esteemed people in Cincinnati, and I'm sure he will. And I don't want to hear anything negative one way or the other. I did want to scroll back and read that Greg Medlin said that he shared me out. We need more people watching. We actually do. And it actually was kind of funny. It came back and kicked me in the butt yesterday, but a well-known media person in Canada, I guess, has something planned later this week where he invited people to I guess a press conference, I guess is the word to call it, but some of his writing on the central bank digital currency happening in Canada, people were invited to be in a discussion of it, I guess. And I was one of the people invited, and I had said to the person setting it up on Facebook, I guess, or one of the people setting it up on Facebook who I know that invited me, yeah, I'd love, I feed 3 places on Facebook. The Boogie with the Bull page gets about 18 to 32 post reach, and post involvement is about the same, 18 to 32. And we kept talking, and the person said to me, "Is that 18,000 to 32,000?" And I said, "No, it's 18 Facebook members to 32 Facebook members see the post on the Boogie with the Bull page, and the same 18 to 32 members actually watch the broadcast on the Boogie with the Bull page." And, delusionment, or not being upset, but, enough. 15 years on Facebook, 3 years of doing broadcasts, and if the same 18 to 32 of you watch me on the Boogie with the Bull page every time I'm on, and anytime there's any other broadcast on the Boogie with the Bull page, I'm going to do my best every time we're on to make sure you get something that you want to continue to watch. Because if the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group, I had 18 to 32 people watching in there at the same time, and on the Dave Wilson profile, there was 18 to 32 watching, and people are sharing me. Hey, I'm happy. Be more happy if we could figure out this live chat situation and get all of you on Facebook, regardless of where you're watching me. The my profile, the Boogie with the Bull page, the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group. If we get that all onto my live producer screen, I can do awesome things like flash your comments to show everybody else what you're thinking, or show you that I'm actually paying attention and talking to you. Randy Griesenbeck says he sent me a link for Roku and Rumble, so I need to check that out. I'll be looking for him, Randy. Sometimes my Gmail, the Boogie with the Bull at gmail.com, sometimes it can be slow, so don't fret, Randy. I'm sure I will get it at some time today, and we will get it processed. Roku and Rumble will be, Roku TV would be awesome to be able to take Facebook conservative patriot broadcasters that just need help getting out to the world and put them on a Roku TV channel would be fantastic. I mean, there are so many people on Facebook like me who are starting out in this conservative patriot broadcasting world. I've only been doing it for about 3 years, but there are people who've done it for 7 years, and people who've done it for 15 years, and people who've done it on Facebook for more than 15 years, and they just need that chance to step up and get out to more people. So if we can help, Randy, that would be a great thing. Rumble, yeah, Rumble is where everybody is going that I know has a YouTube channel, because if you say election fraud, good morning, YouTube. If you say election fraud, even if you're not talking about election fraud, you just say election fraud, that's enough to get kicked off of YouTube and possibly banned for life. And saying that I hope that there is a cuffed perp walk on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel today, and saying that President Trump will become the 46th president of the United States today. If that happens, it's probably enough to get me kicked off of YouTube. And on Rumble, it will probably kick my numbers so high up that Rumble will say, you can only be on Rumble exclusively. So look for Boogie with the Bull broadcast coming soon to Rumble. And if you watch Rumble and you find things on Rumble that you think need to be shared in the groups on Facebook, you let me know. You just go ahead and start posting them. Okay. I had the privilege lately of being involved, or being asked to come in as a moderator to several great conservative patriot groups. And some kicked me up to an admin. And then I have our 4 private groups. I mean, I'm balls to the walls on taking the best conservative patriot groups here on Facebook, trying to help grow them into billion member groups. if I can. And then at the same time, taking us off of Facebook and landing us other places. So, it's time to help everybody who's getting stomped on Facebook to get off of Facebook and let the rest of the world see you and help you develop into the person that you are. Larry Sawwell is watching Boogie with the Bull. Great to have you aboard. Greg Medlin, my buddy, is watching. Kobe Catalina is watching. And of course, the Boogie with the Bull chaplain, Odessa Roberti, is watching. Odessa is important. I think it is bringing his harvest. It may not be his, it might be he, and I may be missing a word, but I think it's bringing his harvest is Odessa Roberti group that you might have interest in. Odessa does a prayer service every Saturday morning at 11:30 Eastern here on Facebook. If you are in need of prayer, you can message Odessa. If you know someone who is in need of prayer, you can message Odessa, or actually, you can actually watch it and go in and put that in, and Odessa will help you through it. And all I can tell you is I've said this for 61 years. I'm 61 years old, and even with dementia, I'm going to keep saying it for another 61 years, that God told me a long time ago, doesn't matter where you are when you talk to me, just talk to me. And it's funny because I can hear my dad in my ear constantly saying the same thing. It doesn't matter where you are when you think you need help from me, just talk to me. Write me an email, call me, just, and I'll help you. He must have learned it from God too, but Dad was raised in an Orthodox family. He was the youngest of 3 kids, and Nana and Papa were extremely Orthodox. On the other side, grandmother and grandfather Stone were Orthodox, and my aunt and my mom were raised Orthodox. They raised us kids Reform or conservative. It depended on what temple was near us at the time. The Globans moved a lot, so, but the point is that God has said to me throughout my 61 years, David, my son, if you need help, all you need to do is ask. And it doesn't matter where you are. I've told you the stories about being dragged to Episcopalian Vacation Bible Camp and sitting in their sanctuary and during silent meditation time saying to God, I don't know if you can hear me because I'm not where I think you need me to be. And his answer would always be, David, my son, I have told you this, and you have to believe me because I don't lie to you. If you need my help, and that's where you are, then you pray. Just like if an Episcopalian was with you in the synagogue of your temple, I listen to them. I listen to everybody. And I guess that's me understanding that it doesn't matter. It does not matter where we are. You can fear radicalized Muslims, if that's what you want to call them, but it doesn't mean that every Muslim you will meet is radicalized and wants to kill you. But the same token, they have to understand that every Jew they meet isn't radicalized and out to kill them. And together, we can do fantastic things. That's why when Randy and Roland and Militia asked me to be a moderator in The World Stands as One Against Government Overreach, God, not only did I go in and do what I do and help clean up a group and this and that. It's a place where, hey, doesn't matter who you are, what you believe. The only way to save this place, the only way to fix this place is if we work together. And Ronald Reagan was the man way ahead of his time. Went to Germany or went to Russia and said, Mr. Gorbachev, this wall has to come down. And I think he understood that Gorbachev was going to run Russia the way he wanted to, and whoever was in charge of China was going to run China the way they wanted to. But I think President Reagan understood that when it came time and necessary, even though we were all running or living in different countries, running different ways, when it came time to make major decisions, we could all come together as one and make decisions for the benefit of the world. And I'm not talking about Klaus Schwab putting on his clown suit and talking to you from the World Economic Forum, and saying, we have the money, so we're going to tell you how it's going to be. And if you want money, that's how it's going to be. I'd be the first one to tell you, you know what? I want your money. And maybe everybody else will say they don't want your money. Yes, President Reagan was a great president. And as I said, there it is. Yes, President Reagan was a great president, and he didn't take no crap either. He was for American people. That's from Greg. As I said, at the end of this broadcast today, when this one ends, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. I think you scroll about halfway down the page, and there's a blue or teal line that says give Facebook permission. Click on that, and what it does is it allows StreamYard to use your Facebook profile in the Facebook live chats. And StreamYard told me that it was working, but like I said, you have to go to the StreamYard.com/Facebook, scroll down, give them permission. They say you only have to do it once, and once you do it, you will be able to be in the live chats on the live producer screen. So it's important that, like I said, at the end of this morning's Boogie with the Bull, that everybody goes to StreamYard.com/Facebook, gives permission. It's important if you are watching and you're not watching on the Dave Golden profile, because that way everything is all on one screen, and we're just a small conservative patriot broadcaster on Facebook, so we've got monitors all over the place, trying to make sure we're watching all the live chats that we can. But it's more important that if I see on the live producer screen, I can flash your comment on the screen and everybody can see it where they're watching. And that's important, because I never started Boogie with the Bull so that I could sit here every morning and preach to 18 to 32 people who are watching all over Facebook, and maybe the 5 to 7 people that watch on Twitter, and I hope retweet it on Twitter. And to the best of my knowledge, I have 24 subscribers on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and I know nobody watches on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel except those 24 watched when Facebook actually did lock me out from broadcasting. They cut all my StreamYard links to Facebook for a week, and I didn't bother trying to send it to Facebook. I just went to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. We still use the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel because when I can, I live link to MeWe, I live link to Streetlock, I live link to American Patriot Social, I live link to Gab, and if I can't live stream, then I take it as a podcast. and share it all around, because that's what we do. We're a small bunch of people trying to do a big bunch of people's job, and I think we do it pretty well. And like I said, I don't let it bother me when someone thinks 18 to 32 is 18 to 32,000, because maybe one day it is. And if Facebook ever told me the truth about numbers, I think they lie to all of us that do conservative patriot broadcasting on Facebook, because they don't want us to know how good our numbers really are. Because if they let us know how good our numbers really are, more of us would get involved, more of us would do this, we would work harder to get the truth and the information that we get out every day on Facebook. Matter of fact, people are telling me that I should focus more on Facebook, and that all of my 10 destinations should be places on Facebook. That's a little harder to do, because in order to link to a Facebook group, I have to be an admin of that group so I can do it. And it's kind of rude when I say to admins of groups, hey, if you really want me in your group, you got to make me an admin so I can link to it. A lot of admins don't want to hear that, but unfortunately on Facebook, that's the truth. I appreciate everyone like Greg, who is sharing it around where he can. As I'm talking this morning, I will try to do a Xander Gibb Memorial pre-rehearsal and send it out everywhere I can. We're already live in the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group, so you don't have to get me to share it there. The world united as one against government overreach. You've got it. One of my favorite new groups, Office of the Former President. You've got it. The American Rebellion, Jerry Michaels and company. They're on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you watch them. We're the opening act tonight, and they're the headliners. So make sure you are watching. Jen Woodruff will be on the 5 p.m. Eastern Boogie with the Bull tonight. And so will others. But Jen is usually on the American Rebellion immediately after. So follow her over and watch. Make sure you're watching Michael Anthony's broadcast, all of them. The best way to do it is become a friend of his Michael Anthony profile page. It's the one with the red, white, and blue 10 o'clock talks logo. You will see posts from him throughout the day. You'll also see all of his broadcasts posted, notifications when he's doing broadcasts, and watch them, connect the dots, learn something. Not going to go too crazy in sending out things to groups, because if I go over 50 groups, I will get locked out of my account. Facebook and I had an extensive conversation yesterday in a chat about why this happens all the time, and their answer was, well, if the spam algorithms think you're spamming even though you're not, then you get locked out of your account. My response to them was, well, how can a spamming algorithm kick me out of my account thinking that I'm spamming if I take 103 friends of mine and I send them to a group which I'm an admin of, and they're in all the other groups that are either mine, ours, or a group that I'm associated with. Matter of fact, if I can actually remember them, I will try to recite them all. We have, meaning me, Dave Bloven, my admin team, my moderator team, we have American regulators, we have conservative freedom defenders, we have Red Patriots for America, and we have the Hardcore Conservatives group. We are also affiliated with Donald Wisman's Don't Walk, Run Away from the Democrat Party. We plug Donald's Trump 2024 private group, which has 10 million members. And one day here on Facebook, we hope to have a 1 million member group. So we work with Donald and make sure we post in Trump 2024, and we make sure everybody posts and reads and takes part in Don't Walk, Run Away from the Democrat Party. We're a moderator in Studio 10 Broadcasting 10 O'Clock Talks, just to make sure we find things in there to share around Facebook. And let's see, we are in Militia Morgan and Randy Griesenbach's and Roland Hatton's. As I said, the world stands as one against government overreach. We're in there helping as a moderator. And let's see, we're in so many other groups that I actually can't remember. I actually do need to write it down. But we're in everybody's group, and we want to help everybody. Actually, we're now a moderator in the Honk for Freedom Florida group. And you don't have to be in Florida if you want to join the Honk for Freedom Florida group. And if you're interested in starting a Honk for Freedom group in your state and having your own group here on Facebook, let me know, and I will pass your information along to Militia Morgan, who started Honk for Freedom here on Facebook. And everybody will help you get a group in your state going, and make sure you have the beautiful red, white, and blue Honk for Freedom decals, and you get them out to everybody, because it's such a fun idea. I mean, Militia says all the time that when her sons are in the car with her, they will do to get truckers to honk, they'll point at the Honk for Freedom decals, which are on the windows of her car, and everybody honks. I would make people, if I was still driving a lot, I would make people honk just so they could see the Honk for Freedom decal or figure that that's what they're honking on. But I would make people honk just for the sport of it. It's a simple thing. We're all in our cars every day, and it just sends a message of what we need to do, and it's a fun and easy way to do it. I can't send the broadcast to this group because they don't allow videos in the group, and I'm not offended in any way. But Americans Against Mail-In Voting. Americans Against Mail-In Voting -National. That's their main group. They're in the process or have just completed, but I believe they're in the process and very close to completing their 501c3. They are the national association for any state that wants an Americans Against Mail-In Voting chapter in your state. They have all kinds of ways that you can donate to that if it is something that you think you want to help support financially. Justice for Kids Convoy, which is Brian Gaudier's group. You know what? There's no more talking about it. We just need to do it. And Brian Gaudier is the man to be doing it. Brian, if you're watching, you're welcome to come on anytime and talk about it. My friend Don Moody with We the People Freedom Ohio Public Group. I wish I could be there in Ohio broadcasting what's going on in East Palestine and Nagel when Soup Mama Official is up there taking all of your donations and distributing them as often as she can. She will be back on April 16th. I'm assuming at the Nagel Fire Department, which is the town right next to East Palestine, and it's actually easier to set up there. More information is on the Soup Mama official Facebook page, and if you have items to donate and you can't get them there, message Soup Mama and she'll make sure somebody gets there to pick them up. If you're looking to make financial donations, you can go to the Soup Mama official page and make financial donations. And do not ever be upset if you can't, and don't ever be upset if you can't buy the things that people are asking for in East Palestine, and decide it's easier to send money to someone who is going to do it. Soup Bomba official, you know Charisse. You've seen her all over Facebook for years. This is what she does. And if she is set up in East Palestine, Ohio, or Nagel, Ohio, and she is serving or selling soup, I would just go to East Palestine or Nagel on a distribution day just to have the soup. I hear it is that good, and you have to be where Charisse is. So I think that's what's going on. Let me see. Let me scroll down and see if there's anybody else that I missed that should have the Boogie with the Bull broadcast this morning. We're going to put together a list of the places that it needs to be shared to. If you share it and it is rejected, and the reject says that you have reshared information outside of the group, just leave it and don't worry about it. They actually have to delete it. I'm not sure whether or not it's actually an admin decision or an admin assist decision. And I don't understand. I've said to admins where this happens, I don't understand what you mean sharing information from outside of the group, because this information that we're talking about, the continuous witch hunt of Donald Trump, is being discussed in every conservative patriot group on Facebook. And if it's not being discussed in your group, then, I don't know what to tell you. And if you want to do a Boogie with the Bull broadcast with your admins in your conservative patriot group with me, so that it isn't reshared information from outside of your group, let me know. I had 7 guest cameras available this morning, and you're more than welcome to come on, because this whole thing that we're dealing with right now in the United States of America is bigger than any one group and any one admin. Okay? So I got, like I said at the beginning, I've got 4 private groups. I wish I never took private. I wish I had left them public, because public groups are the way to be, because everybody on Facebook can see your public group. They don't have to be a member. They can be involved any way they want. I hope we get 1 million members in all the public groups, but you know what? At least everybody sees them and decides whether or not they want to be involved with them. Good morning, Nina Dillard, who is watching Boogie with the Bull Morning Caffeine, the Morning Ramble Fest and Tangentry edition. We started at 8. It's 8:48, so we'll probably pull the plug on this one at 9 o'clock, and remind any of the panel members that might be watching or watch this before the 5 p.m. broadcast. The topic, again, is, yes, going to be the hopeful cuffed and perp walk rally, whether it takes place today or it takes place tomorrow. President Trump has asked that people line the roadway in Palm Beach when they come out of Mar-a-Lago this morning to go to the airport to catch Trump Force One to go to New York. I hope everybody in New York will be wherever Trump Force One is going to land, and be there along the major roadways to wherever they're going to process and possibly have the arraignment. And then when they return to wherever they're going, I don't know, like I said, if they're going to tell President Trump he has to stay in New York at Trump Tower, or what they're going to do. The funniest thing is that I can see is that Alvin Bragg saying, lift up your pant leg, I got to put an ankle bracelet on you. And Trump going ahead and doing it. And then as soon as they walk out of there, his Secret Service agents go, no, wrong. They're not doing that. But I'm still, like I said, I'm holding out that we're going to get in front of a judge who understands whether it doesn't matter whether or not they're Democrat or they're Republican. We're going to get in front of a judge that is going to go, we have never done this in the history of the United States of America. Indicted a former president. We have never spent, to the best of my knowledge, all the time that the Democrat Party has spent trying to find something to impeach Donald Trump. They tried twice, and they couldn't find anything. And, that's the only reason why I think they found 34 charges that they hope, because as they read one by one down through the judge, they know they're going to get a judge that's going to go, nope, can't do that one. Nope, can't do that one. And maybe when they get to the end, the judge is going to say, nope, can't prosecute him on the rest of those. You've wasted my time. You wasted the court time. You wasted taxpayers' money in New York and everything else. I'm dismissing these charges. You cannot bring them back in the future. The statute of limitations on anything related to Stormy Daniels is 2 years past. I mean, it's 5 years and it's 7 years. And to be honest with you, I don't really think anybody, Republicans or Democrats, really care about money changing hands between Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels. Okay? You have to look at this from a slightly warped view of mind. We raise our presidents to be like kings of other countries. We don't want a king, but that's the world that our presidents live in. And sometimes they do things that everybody else does, and you can't say that it's wrong. I mean, you can say that it's wrong for you or I to have an affair on our wives or husbands, and it probably is, but you can't say that how they handle it is wrong. And there's still so much, it looks like Michael Cohen's lawyer has been saying through this last grand jury thing that he's got all kinds of evidence from Michael Cohen that says Cohen contacted or admits to contacting Stormy Daniels. Cohen admits to paying the hush money and assuming that President Trump would pay him back. And whether or not that happened, I don't care. Okay? The only one in this whole situation between President Trump and Stormy Daniels that has any right to be upset over what may or may not have happened is Melania. And I'm sure that the main reason that Melania isn't in the press making a field day is she's committed and understands her husband and accepts him for who he is and what he does. But marriages are business in some cases, and she understands that if she leaves, as two other Trump wives have, the breakup agreement is not anywhere near as nice as the life that you're living. And that's a terrible thing for me to say, but and from what I understand, Melania, through her modeling days and other things that she has done, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. I'm sure they love each other. And, up in that league, it's a lot different. Like I said, marriages sometimes can be a business. But, the only one that I really am concerned about how this affects them and what will happen one day is Barron Trump. Okay? Because all I can tell you is that I look at Barron Trump and he may have a look on his face like he doesn't know what's going on and he may have dazed out of it. It may be somewhere else in his head. But all I can tell you is what I see, what I read is that kid is an effing genius. And he's the Trump. He's the Trump. Not Donald Jr., not Ivanka, not Eric, not Tiffany, not any of the other Trumps that you see and think one day they could be the president. You watch. Barron Trump is going to come out one day, maybe, with the intelligence that God blessed him with, the knowledge that Melania shared with him, the knowledge that Donald shared with him, I'm sure one-on-one in their conversations are nothing like what the world kicks on the Trump family. And look at what Bill Clinton did. Yeah, he lied. He lied about it. He lied to Congress about it. And the Senate didn't impeach him. Okay? The House impeached him, and he finished up his term, and that's it. Well, Donald Trump is better, I guess. The House impeached him twice, and he finished up his term. What happened in 2020? Well, we're on socialist media today, and I can't say what I think happened. But I can tell you that if there is a perp walk with cuffs coming out of Trump Tower, going to wherever they're going, and a perp walk back into the vehicles, going to wherever they're going, and a perp walk at the airport in Chicago, going back onto Trump Force One, and a perp walk walking into the gates of Mar-a-Lago today. America, I think you've elected the 46th president of the United States. And while I can't say EF on some networks, this has nothing to do with EF. This has something to do with being able to prosecute Hunter Biden for crimes that he's done against the American people. That, you know what? He needs to sit down at the House, sit down at the Senate, sit down at a select committee of both, answer the tough questions. And if the evidence that he brings in suggests that his father, Biden, that's Byedon, if Beijing was involved in some of these things and they violate the law about what a president can and can't do, then you know what? It's time to step up too. And then when this thing is done, and it's over, it's time to pick up and move on and get us back to where we need to be. Okay? Somebody posted yesterday, Saudi Arabia wants to cut 500,000 barrels of oil a day. Well, who are they cutting it from? They're going to cut it from the United States of America? They don't ship oil to the United States of America, or at least I thought they don't. Maybe they are, but thought they told us they weren't. And when they cut oil every time, they're cutting out what they think we would want from them every day. So cut it. Who are you going to sell it to? If you go on the petro yuan, or whatever you want to call it, the Chinese money system, if you want to go on the petro yuan, go ahead. The only thing I can tell you is that when the United States of America cleans up its balance sheet, shuts down the IRS, streamlines the government, what the federal government is and what state governments are, and the money stays in the states and everything like it should, except for whatever we need to operate a federal government, and our credit is built back up, that petro yuan ain't going to do you squatola, and you know it. Okay? Because if President Trump is back in the Oval Office and the United States of America is the largest oil exporter on God's green earth, and we're selling it for a lot less than you and everybody else, and we're selling it to everybody like we should be, you're either going to unite with us and do that, or you're not. Okay? And Iran, you know what you got to do. If you want to be at the big table with the United States and Russia and China, well, you'd probably be there with Russia and China and Saudi Arabia. But if you want to be at the big boys and girls table with the United States of America, you know what you got to do. You know what you have to do. Okay? Whether or not you want to do it, that's up to you. But the cleaning up of the United States of America and our government, this is an example of what other countries around the world are going to have to do at some point. Okay? And if the world can't stand as one against government overreach of any government, then I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. I want to thank Greg Medlin for watching and sharing, Nina Dillard for watching, Larry Sawell for watching, Randy Griesenbeck. It's always fun to know that Randy's watching. It's more fun to have Randy on a broadcast with me. Best Hellfire and Brimstone Preacher while you drink your morning coffee at normally at 7:30. And even whenever I can have Randy on. So, Randy, you know you got my support on what we're doing and what you're doing. You know it. And if anybody watching has issues with Randy, go talk to Randy. So it's fantastic news to know that a link for Roku TV and a link for Rumble. Right now, the link for Rumble is just what we need. I mean, it's what Boogie with the Bull, any broadcast I do needs. It's what anybody who does a broadcast with me, their own broadcast even needs. And, like I said, I've been doing this for 15 years on Facebook, but I've been an internet addict going back to 1982. And it's my favorite conversation to have with people who weren't even here in 1982. But, unfortunately, it's a sad day when I have to look at the iPod and iPad generation or iPhone generation and go, you know what? Al Gore and Steve Jobs did not invent the internet. Steve Jobs invented some devices that work really cool on the internet, iPhones, iPads, but Al Gore did not invent the internet. Matter of fact, Al Gore invented building a media company and selling it to, I believe, bad foreigners outside of the United States of America. But, that's neither here nor there. The internet wasn't around as in wireless technology like everybody's using today, but back in 1982, we had Commodore VIC-20s with a plug-in 300 baud modem, and we used CompuServe, and we used Genie, and we used used, God, I can't remember. There were so many of them. We used the Commodore Network, which didn't really last very long. It was pretty cool, but we used to do security in a Commodore office building, and they did a midnight move because they owed, I think, a lot of money to the actual landlord of the building. And then when they were done, they said to me and the rest of our security there, anything we left in here that you can use, take with you. So I don't know. I had probably 500 years worth of free passes to the Commodore Network, and then we never paid for it, but it was a lot of fun. That's for what dial-up internet was back then. But anyway, let me look at the clock here. It's 9:06, so we, I think, have done pretty much what I said we were going to do. Jen Woodruff is confirmed for the 5 o'clock Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk broadcast. Again, it will be on the Dave Logan profile, the Boogie with the Bull page, and the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group. It'll be on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. And if you follow Boogie WT Bull, the Boogie with the Bull Twitter account, then you can watch it over there. When we get set up for Rumble, you can watch it over there. And Roku TV. I've been saying for 3 years now, if it fell in my lap, it would be great. So if you're a conservative patriot broadcaster that has worked with Randy or I, or someone who thinks you have a broadcast that should be on Roku, give me a few days to figure out what we have to do, and we'll make it available to as many as we can. And I look very forward to being on Rumble, because I think Rumble is going to eventually be the Conservative Patriot YouTube. So that's about all I can say. Thanks to Randy Griesenbeck for watching, Greg Medlin for watching and sharing. Let's see, Nina Dillard was watching, and Kobe Catalina and Odessa Roberti were the first two to start watching. And don't forget Odessa's prayer service Saturday mornings at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. It's posted on Facebook. And singing, I don't want to say chanting, but singing. And there's some dancing. So two of them move. A lot of times you can't help but move your body while you're singing. It's just something that you have to do. Me, not so much anymore. But if you need prayer, go watch. If you want to ask for prayer, go watch. If you want to ask for somebody else who needs prayer, go watch. And go to the Odessa Roberti Facebook page, ODESSA ROBERTI, Odessa Roberti Facebook page, and it will give you the proper name to her group. I said bringing his harvest, but it'll give you, I know bringing and harvest are two of the words in it, but go to the Odessa Roberti page and you'll get the accurate name, or I'll try to get the next accurate name and have it for you on the next Boogie with the Bull broadcast, which again is 5 p.m. today. Don't know if it will go till 6, 6:30, or 7 o'clock. Depends on what is happening. Then at 7 p.m. Eastern on the American Rebellion blogger page here on Facebook, or the American Rebellion over on Rumble, you can watch the American Rebellion. Jen Woodruff will be there. Jerry Michaels will be there because, of course, Jerry is the host. Nikki Young, I'm sure, will be there. Robert Lawless, the Minnesota Madman, may be there. Randy Rhodes, the genealogist to everyone, might be there. I'm going to try to drop by one of these nights for a little bit and it's a great broadcast. It really is. And kind of a panel discussion of my brain going off in 50 million directions that all seem to lead back to conservative patriot politics, but it's more fun when there's more people involved. So if you get a chance, watch the 5:30 p.m. Eastern Boogie with Bull True Patriot Talk broadcast. I know Jen Woodruff will be there. I will be there. And that leaves 6 more cameras that are available if you want to be there. So Bob McCarthy, if you're around and you can be there, you're welcome. Derek Arnold, if you're around and you can be there, you're welcome. Paul Riley, PatriotShitOutfitter.com. You're welcome to be there if you're around. Keith, HML Media, Keith Pribble, you're welcome to be around. William Rayfield, the Patriots Lab, Patriot Labs Uncensored. You're welcome to be there if you're around. I think Wednesday, I'm not sure what time it will be or whether or not it will be the whole time, but in the 5 to 7 p.m. block on Wednesday, if Michael Anthony is around and available, whether it's 5 to 6, 6 to 7, or the whole 5 to 7, whatever we use block. I'm going to ask Michael Anthony if he's available to join me for a one-on-one, and then Friday, 5 p.m. to whatever time we use, we're on, and then Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. for whatever time we use. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, watch us, then watch the American Rebellion, like I said, on the American Rebellion blogger page here on Facebook. The only reason I say the American Rebellion blogger page is there is the American Rebellion group, but Jerry doesn't monitor that chat. So if you want to be in a monitored chat, then your name can be flashed on the screen, and people can agree with you, disagree with you, or whatever, but at least promotes the fact that you're listening. Then make sure you're watching on the American Rebellion blogger page. And yes, if my brain starts thinking faster than my mouth can go these days, yep, there's some cognitive issues there. So if you are dealing with any kind of dementia issue, as I'm going through, as I say a lot, I'm always looking for people that want to come on and do a broadcast. If you don't want to have your face on the screen, then we can give you a beautiful black box with a vibrating aura and your name. And I still will be interested in your thoughts. And it could be people like me who are dealing with it on a daily basis, as well as maybe the caregivers that have to help us through it. And a lot of times it can be tough on the caregivers, our family members who support us. My wife, Donna, asked me to do a simple thing yesterday as I was loading bags from a grocery store into the car. There was an item on the floor of the car, and she said, put it into one of the bags so we can carry it into the house. Well, all my brain heard was put it into one of the bags so we can take it into the house. Now, put it in one of the bags so we can take it into the house involves making a decision of which bag. So after I got back to the car from turning the grocery cart, I said, I don't mean to be rude, but we all know at some times of the day when I have to make a decision, it's hard. I mean, I'm a cereal guy. I like to go down the cereal aisle, but, it's tough now because I like to walk down the cereal aisle from all the chocolate cereal down to the 61-year-old dementia old man part of the aisle and grab certain things. And yesterday, at one of the grocery stores we go to, General Mills cereals were on sale, buy one, get one free, but there weren't any chocolate ones. So, I'm stalling my wife going up and down the aisle trying to find the one I want. I found something that I wanted that I was just as happy with, but, in my single days, I just walked into the grocery store and I knew everything I wanted, so I grabbed it. If even in my married days, if I had to, I'd just call Walmart, give them a list, and have it delivered, or somebody else and have it delivered. And I have a lot of respect for any of you roadies drivers or Uber Eats drivers or Lyft delivery who have to go pick up a box at one of these grocery stores and take it to a person like me and drop it off, and that person has to go through and make sure everything they ordered is in the box. But anyway, I digress, give more stuff that we can talk about. But anyway, like I said, if you are going through any kind of dementia, maybe yours is Alzheimer's, maybe yours is Parkinson's, maybe yours is just dementia. And you want to come on and share experiences, you're welcome to. If you're a family member and you don't want to name that family member, you're more than welcome to come on and talk that way. I've always just been the kind of guy that I, even in my radio days, would just say, hey, this is me, this is what I'm going through, and I know that there are probably thousands of you out there that are going through it as well, and let's support each other. Anyway, I'm Dave Globin. You're not. I want to thank you for the privilege of letting me abuse your time. It's 9:17. That's about an hour and 15 minutes for a Boogie with a Bull morning caffeine. I'm going to finish my morning caffeine and feed Delilah and Lola and myself. And we'll be back, like I said, with Jen Woodruff and a whole slew of others on the panel, Boogie with the Bull, True Patriot Talk, at 5 p.m. Eastern, again, on the Dave Globin profile, the Boogie with the Bull page, the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group, Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and if you follow me on Twitter, at Boogie WT Bull, soon to be on Rumble and Roku. This is going to be big. As President Trump would say, this is going to be huge. We'll start working hard to get President Trump on. We'll start working hard to get Governor DeSantis on. And we'll start working hard to get anybody who should be on the broadcast on. Greg Medlin says, I'm getting where I can't remember too. It makes us feel bad, Dave. I understand that. It's not fun. Well, it's not fun. Most of the time, just because of the sarcastic personality I have, I can joke about it with myself or about myself. And sometimes that gets in the way of talking with my family and my friends. But I've always said that if you can't laugh at yourself, then you can't laugh at anybody else. Because, I got some really intelligent friends, and they say stupid things. And then I tell people I'm the stupidest person I know, which is not true. My mother had me tested, as Sheldon used to say on The Big Bang Theory. And sometimes the sarcastic way for me has been a true defense mechanism. Anyway, I'm Dave Globin. You're on. Thank you for the privilege of letting me abuse your time. I've done enough. Be back at 5 p.m. with Jen Woodruff and anybody else. And if you're actually interested in being one of the anybody else's, message me on Facebook Messenger before 4 o'clock. And if there is a camera available, you are more than welcome to come on. You do not have to be a Facebook Conservative Patriot broadcaster or admin or group member. If you want to come on and just have fun with the afternoon follies, you are more than welcome to do so. Okay. And on that note, I'm going to come up here, hit that one. Double V's for victory with the Bull morning caffeine for Monday, April 3rd. The Donald Trump cuffed and perp walk promotion broadcast is coming to an end. Live well, prosper, enjoy your day. Double V's for victory.